Behind Closed Doors. I'm Jared.
I'm Sam.
And I have nothing past that.
Oh my
God. But yes, this is a marriage podcast for the reasons of.
Okay, that's terrible. You can't say for the reasons of. That's so like
I know, but
school.
But she had like what you had like a
yeah. We are doing this podcast. You talking about why?
Yeah, RY.
We are doing this podcast because we want all families to make it, but our special interest and focus is Black families. So
yes, ma'am.
Whatever that means by making it, relationship wise, parenting wise, financially, whatever making it is, we want to see y'all make it. So that's why we're doing this podcast.
And we do want to put this quick disclaimer out there. We are not the authority on marriage whatsoever.
No.
I do not speak for all men/husbands. She does not speak for all women/wives.
Right.
And we do not speak for each other without consent.
Yeah, well, I speak for him all the time because I can. I'm just playing. See? Calm down. It's just a joke.
Happy wife, happy life.
But yeah, I think also too, we're just sharing our journey in hopes that you'll find your own way. So this is not for us to tell you what to do or what you should do. This is more so just us sharing what we do so that hopefully it helps inspire you to find what you do and what works for you or y'all. And so every week we will give a myth and either bust it or confirm it. This is our version of Mythbusters. And this week, our myth is happy wife, happy life.
Which I totally agree with. I want to touch it every single time.
I know.
You've
been touching the mic this whole time.
I agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with it. 1,000,000%. I totally believe that the total environment of the home is dictated and predicated upon the wife's mood. 1,000,000%.
See, and I disagree because
of course
this is the thing. It takes more than just having a happy wife to have a happy life. I think I could be suffering in silence, but I think you do not suffer in silence though. When you're walking around brooding, it makes the whole house. Everybody's walking on eggshells, not trying to upset dad. Like that's I think this is a myth. Because both parents should be happy. And I think the kids can feel it. The house can feel it. Whoever is not happy. So, because obviously they're saying that, happy wife, happy life. So they're saying if she's unhappy, you have an unhappy life. But I think there are instances where the wife can be happy and the husband can be unhappy. And that is a unhappy life.
this is what I'll say. I don't think the husband's mood dictates the house as much as the wife's mood.
See, and I disagree. I just don't think so. I think we've heard things where it's like, oh, the woman sets the tone, she sets the environment of the house and all the things. But I've lived and experienced it the opposite way.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that.
That's what you just said.
I'm not saying that a woman sets any tone of the house. I'm saying hers
Don't go into traditional roles now. You saying a woman can't set the tone of the house?
See what I'm saying?
No, see? I'm asking. It's the way that you said it.
No, that's not what I said. Mm-hmm. I said I don't think that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's our case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you set the tone of our house.
No, I try to direct the flow that is already happening. That is what I try to do with our house. So when things are, going away and it's going well, I try to encourage it to keep going well. When things are not going well, I try to encourage folks, let's take a U-turn and let's get it back well. I feel like I'm a mood manager than a mood setter.
And just because of how I am day to day, I do think that I'm more. I think I'm more of the moody one in our house. I think I'm the
that
more
threw me off.
One. It did. Just seeing myself like that was crazy. Yo, I looked crazy in this mug.
No, you
man.
did
This
not.
dead dog. Yeah, I do. I don't think that you set a tone for our house when it comes to mood.
So you're confirming
men,
happy wife, happy life.
Yes.
On what grounds if you don't feel like...
This is why. Because usually men will lay on the sword and push aside the way they feel about something.
Mm-hmm. Some men.
Come on. Let's not be those guys. We already said we don't speak for all. I don't speak for all men. You don't speak for all women. I'm just saying men usually tend to set what?
Usually tend to. I don't think so.
Is this in front of closed doors or behind closed doors?
It's behind closed doors. I'm telling the truth. The men that you were just talking about before, you think they're laying themselves down on the swords for their wife's happiness? I highly doubt it. They are 100% laying their wives down for their happiness.
To say something you told me not to say.
No, just stop going there. It's like Kanye. He's like, I'm not going to say what kind of doctor, but he was a Jewish doctor. He's like, what? Like, what? You're doing that.
Edit that part. We got to edit that part out. We can't say nothing about Jewish nothing.
Why? That's what Kanye said. No, that's good. That's what he said.
But yeah, I don't.
Just go ahead. Just go ahead and say it. Just to free your spirit.
No, I'm not going to do it.
They're married to white women. These are black men married to white women. Let's just free Jared's soul so he can move forward. So we can all move
forward. We can edit this part out. But Taj, you knew they were married to white women when I told you the story. You said,
Lord have mercy. Golly.
You may not bring your white wife. Now,
I'm biracial. My father's black and my mother is white. He's not. That's fine. However, we do not feel there's nothing wrong.
Hanging with the Babies is the song I sing.
Will you stop?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. We do not
want to be. We are going to come off as so racist.
Real niggas do real things. Relax and take notes while I take totes of the marijuana smoke. Relax and take notes. Gun smoke. I just
okay. Jared is not ready to record a podcast.
Yes, I am. I promise I am. My bad. All that can be cut.
But we don't want to have to do that though. Will you get your mind right?
I will. My bad. I'm sorry. Where were we at?
I had to just go ahead and say they're married to white women. So
but I know. But we're gonna just smooth all the way past that. We're gonna come back to the Mythbusters. I just think that myth is true because I believe, and I have seen myself lay what I would, how I feel to the side, because you may be a little more sensitive in an area, and that sensitivity will control and dictate the house.
That's so interesting because I feel the same way.
Of course you do.
I feel the exact same way.
Now, on the flip side, I am a little more moody.
You're more moody.
I'm a little more moody because
you're more touchy about.
I'm very particular.
But there are some things too that you are touchy about. Like this the misconception I want to get rid of, especially because I'm raising 4 young black men, is that men are not emotional. They are very emotional. Men are very emotional. Y'all just show emotions in a different way.
Yeah, but y'all are explosive, and I think that's the difference.
You don't think that men are explosive?
No.
That's crazy.
No.
That is
do
crazy.
I think men can be explosive? Yes. But do I think men are just naturally explosive in emotions? No, I do not.
I think women express their emotions
explosively
in a variety of ways
of explosions
more than men, but men 100% explode. You guys operate in more just like anger and frustration or huff and puffing, maybe stuff like that. And we have a range of things that we'll do. in an emotional response. I think that's the difference. It's like for us there's this big range, and for y'all it's a more tight range. And honestly, I think that just goes toward more society, how men operate and how men can't show all the range of emotions without being boxed in or labeled or whatever. I like if you're having a hard day, if y'all are having a hard day and y'all feel like crying, you can't just stop and be like, I just want to cry, and just cry. However, because now you could, but I'm saying society will punish you for it. Whereas for women, we could literally just stop and be like, I'm just having one of those. And somebody would just be like, oh my gosh, she just really had a tough day.
Yeah.
And that's unfair to y'all, but at the same time, I don't think I heard somebody say just recently, women are more emotional. I think that is so false. We're not more emotional. We show emotion more and in different ways than men do, but I don't think it's a more. I think y'all are just as emotional, but you have not been allowed to express and show emotion in the same way we have.
So yes. So if we're looking at like the color spectrum, on the color spectrum, we're probably like this.
Exactly. Like you guys can only show various kinds of blue.
Yeah.
And we can show blue, purple, red, green, yellow. We can show all the things. And it doesn't mean anything more about us than whatever it is that we're communicating. But you guys show different colors of that spectrum. And it means something else. Yeah. Various things,
Our sad usually comes out. Oh, real quick story. So there was one time that I was very angry. And it just felt like anger. That's all it really felt like. It felt like anger and frustration. So yeah, anger and frustration, the two blues. If those are blues, I don't know. So it felt like the two blues. I remember I was sitting on the edge of the bed. You came up behind me and you pulled me back. And I busted out crying. Mm-hmm. And I had no clue where that came from. I was even like, hold on. I leaned up. I said, hold up, man. What's going on? Yeah. I did not expect to start crying like that.
You just needed somebody to embrace and love you, hug on you, let you rest, let you take your cape off for a second. Exactly the story that you just brought up, right? And I was saying you needed a moment, like to take your cape off and stuff like that. And we have to monitor our expectations of where we get what. Because you could do that because you were at home. You were with somebody who's safe for you. You were with somebody that you love, you're doing life with, and that's why you were able to do such. I think we're not able to do that out in the world because we're not supposed to be able to. And I think it's a tough concept for folks. And I didn't really learn this or realize this until I became an adult. But you go out in the world to get shit done. You go out in the world to execute purpose. You go out in the world to give to it, basically. And at home is where you get your validation, your comfort, your encouragement, your value. That's where you get those things. And I think we don't talk about that enough. We go out into the world expecting the world to validate us, to show us our value, tell us our value, make us feel a way, make us feel appreciated. But the world, one, it doesn't owe you that, and it's not going to give you that. And I think it's important to instill that not just in in each other and in our relationships, but also to our children. Because we need to teach our children that, when you go out into this world and it starts beating you up and weighing you down and taking away from who you are, why is that funny?
No, it's not. I'm thinking of a moment for us.
When it goes out and starts wearing you out, you can come back home for whatever it is that you need, the comfort that you need.
And you got to be able to love from a service position. Like, when you hear that, don't just try to start arguing. Well, what if you ain't getting that at home? Well, be that for that person, and the other person should be that for that person.
Yeah, home is not a place. I'm talking about home is the place that is the space that you've built for yourself with people that love and do that for you. So it doesn't have to be technically at home, because there's a lot of kids who don't experience that with their parents and stuff.
Yeah.
But those people that you've deemed to be your home, those people of choice, just those are the people that you get love and acceptance from. you don't get that from the world, not in general. It's better to go out and be like that and then be pleasantly surprised when it does validate and give you love and stuff than it is to go out in the world expecting that from the world and to continuously be let down because humans aren't going to human. They're going to judge you and pick you apart. And
every time.
All of that. But these, more than anything, especially because we were on the tip of men, especially our black men, especially our young black men, they need spaces where they can take their cape off. They need spaces that are safe, and they need spaces where somebody will love and validate them and make them feel like they're worth something because they go out and they encounter institutions and systems that continuously tell them they aren't worth nothing and then expect them to value life. It's crazy. So when I started getting involved in media, in politics, in just all the community stuff, especially like public speaking and all of those things, you start to realize that like all of the insecurities and fears that you have that you thought was just you, like everybody goes out here and confidently does XYZ. Everybody confidently out here is doing this and doing that, whatever. And you realize though this is not true. Like we are all out here scared. We're all doing these things scared. Like all the, like Taj, for you, like you're going to, go shoot something or film something for the first time. And you're like, man, I wonder if I can like do this as well as so-and-so because somebody there, but they're scared too. Everybody's scared. We're all scared of disappointing ourselves or having landed below our own expectations. Everybody else, like, and I don't know. I guess I put it on there because I was just thinking like that's a good concept that I wanted to discuss and talk about. Everybody's scared. I do everything scared. I'm scared of doing everything. And I still stretch and do it.
Do you feel like you're scared of doing this?
No.
I don't either.
I'm not scared of this. But I'm used to talking to you.
I'm not. Well, and I think
a long time.
I understand what you're saying. Let me just start with that. I don't necessarily feel scared doing things. I usually feel a strong want to or not want to.
That's crazy. I think because then I want to, it makes me wonder, are you stretching yourself if you're not scared? Because if everything that you do, you feel comfortable doing, or if it's just a I want to or don't want to, makes me feel like that's not a stretch. Like if it's not scary, like it's not big enough. It's not enough of a stretch. It should be a little scary, right?
So usually for most people it'd be public speaking, like doing any type of public speaking, or because I make music, it'd be like performing. It'd be like performing on stage in front of people that you don't know. Mm-hmm. And early, I think I was more nervous of messing words up, like early when I first started. I think now I've already made up on my mind. This is kind of who God called you to be. Just go up there and do it. Mm-hmm. And so I usually don't feel anything.
But before. It's pure. You don't have no fear or nervousness whatsoever.
When I go up on stage now, no. Like I don't. I'm telling you I don't. Like well, you've seen me. You know what I'm saying? You've seen me. I don't necessarily I don't feel scared, or I don't feel nervous, or
are fear and nervousness two different things though?
Well, that's why I said both of them. I do feel like that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, man, you got to go to the bathroom before this fuck, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Does anybody know else? Okay, yes. You just get, your stomach start bubbling.
I think, I don't know, Taj. When you're experiencing something new, I think fear and nervousness are very close. I think they're very close. Yeah. Because I think what makes you anxious and nervous is being fearful of whatever it is that you're doing. Like I think and being afraid of various things. It doesn't have to be a lack of competence or confidence in yourself.
Right.
It can just be fearful that it just won't turn out well. You know, like if you're performing in something and especially if you've experienced some kind of like technical difficulties or things like that in your middle of the, like just worried about a show not going well in general. Okay. It doesn't have to be personally just you.
Yeah.
That's more. I agree. I think that's more along the lines of anxiety.
Yes.
You know, because fear can drive you to not want to do something.
I've been anxious about the smoothness of a show. How does it sound? Mm-hmm. Is my mic? Because you remember, so I performed at a spot. I don't know what camera I'm supposed to be looking at. I performed at a spot a while ago. Well, yeah, I know that's my one. And I had a new sound guy. And I was giving the new sound guy the cues. You know who I'm talking about. Mm-mm.
Oh. Why you?
So I'm giving the new sound. Could you hear me when I said that? Yeah, see,
oh my God.
See, well, when I was giving the new sound guy the cues, and this man butchered it.
He's gonna know that you're talking about him. Like you should have just said his name. He's gonna know anyway.
Yeah, Sean, man, I love you, bro. So Sean. Usually I have my dog with me. Shout out to Marcus Jackson, man. I have my dog with me, and he just knows cues, fam. Like me and him are like this. So anytime I performed, he's came, and every time I would do like a little acapella joint that leads right into the start of a song, and as soon as I hit the spot, that man, bang, he's hitting play. Because a lot of times when you do those smaller functions, you don't have a DJ. You just have an aux man. You know what I mean? And Marcus is a fire aux man. But I had Sean with me one time, man. And so I even gave this man a physical signal along with the words. And he hit play and then hit pause and said, hold up. Do I play it? And I looked at this man. I said, yes, Sean.
During the show.
Sean. Yes, Sean. Hit play. I think I have that on video. Somewhere of him butchering that for me.
Oh, my God.
But those things, I think those are the things I'm more, anxious about, not necessarily like performing myself.
Okay. So everybody's scared.
Roundabout way of getting back to.
And that was my point. Everybody's scared. So I guess it's letting people know that it's normal to be fearful. Everybody's scared. Like when you're going out and you're talking to somebody, you're dating or whatever, and you're talking to somebody trying to get into everybody's scared. He's scared. You're scared. Everybody's afraid that they're going to get hurt. Everybody's afraid that their trust is going to get violated. Everybody's afraid they're going to be manipulated or used. Everybody's scared. And that's why I wanted to bring that up during our conversation, because it's just I like to put that out there because it does kind of help you settle a little bit when you realize everybody's scared, and it also helps you sort out weird behaviors. Like I hear like singles talk about like their dating experience, stuff like that, and so many times I hear them like describing something like, oh, they were so weird and they was doing this or that. It's like that sounds like they're nervous. Have you ever thought they like you? And like they feel away because they're like nervous. You make them nervous or scared or anxious, or they really want to get it right. And oftentimes when we really, really, really want to get something right, it's usually the times when we bomb. Like it's those kind of things. They're like just giving people grace. Everybody giving people grace, but also giving yourself grace. Everybody's scared. Everybody's out here scared.
Man, and the cutoffs are just crazy now. Like some people's tolerance is so low.
Yeah.
And they're like what they deem a red. First of all, I'm so tired of red flag. I hate just overused social, what are those things
or the
called?
Culture. Red flag, green flag. I'm tired of culture, period. I just don't even want to hear the word no more.
Toxic.
My Lord.
Cut off, canceled. All the stuff.
Yeah. misogynist.
Misogyny. If God functioned the way that we did as human beings, everybody be canceled. Everybody be cut off.
Right.
You don't got no space, no room, nothing to stand on to be canceling somebody else.
To grow, to mature, to change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could have got a snapshot of me in 2015 and be like, yeah, man, this is not somebody I ever want to rock with.
Who, in your words, who is this uncircumcised Philistine?
Yeah. Yeah, you just you catch me at different spots in my life. It took a whole lot for me to get here.
Right.
I think it took a whole lot for us just to get here in this space. I think we've always had an ability to do a podcast together.
Yeah.
But it took a whole lot for us to even just get to a place where we could just do things together. There was a time where we couldn't do much together.
That's a fact. I mean, the fact that we're just all human and flawed, and it kind of brings us to our tip for today too. So for our tips every episode, we're going to share advice that sounds like bad advice or people have recognized as bad advice, but it's actually good advice. And our one for this episode is do as I say and not as I do. And so, it gets a bad rap because everybody's looking back on what things were said to us as children and is like, oh, that was so toxic. Oh, it's so horrible. And one of them is this, do as I say and not as I do. And I disagree. I think when we tell our kids, do as I say and not as I do, it's not like this lazy cop-out. It's actually being used in a way of the things I'm unable to do for myself, I want you to do better than me. I think it's actually an honorable thing to do and to tell our kids. If you have a thing that you're hung up on or that you do and you're like, yo, listen, do as I say and not as I do. Especially when kids bring up, because kids will bring up. That's usually what triggers that response to. Kids will bring up you being a hypocrite in some way. You telling me to do this, but you didn't and they'll say, do as I say, not as I do. It's we're trying to set you up better than us. That's why. Well, I don't think it's limited to that either.
I do think when Paul talks about we gave you milk because you weren't ready for meat, mm-hmm. I think sometimes too is you're a child and there's a reason why mm-hmm. you can't do this, and it's a reason mm-hmm. why it's inappropriate for you. Yeah. I don't want you doing everything I'm doing.
Right.
Because you ain't got no business doing everything I'm doing. Because you haven't been through what I've been through to get to this spot to be doing what I'm doing.
Well, and we told our kids one time, because we say nigga a lot to each other in the house, in conversation, whatever. And the boys would be wanting to pick up that stuff. And we explained to them, though, at the age that they were at initially when we had this conversation, it's you're not old enough to understand the difference, where you should say this and where you shouldn't say this, when it's okay and when not, when it's around your friends or when you're at school in a professional setting. School's a professional setting. I just wanted to put that out there for folks who don't know. That was the conversation we had. So it was a do as I say and not as I do type thing until you're old enough. Now that they're old enough, they know how to pick their spots. Our teenagers and stuff, they know how to pick their spots now, and they can handle that better. But our little ones still don't. Our little 6-year-olds still don't.
Yeah, so you just don't say it.
You just don't say it. Just don't say it because you don't know yet. You can't decipher that for yourself yet. Determine that for yourself.
And if you're grown and you think nobody should be saying it, well, then that's good for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Run your house that way.
Exactly.
But as for me and my house.
Do as I say.
Yeah.
And not as I do. Period.
This has been episode 1 of Behind Closed Doors with Jared and Sam. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram.
And everywhere else we are. I'm sure we'll
comment. Let us know. Let us know your thoughts. What you want us to talk about. What do you want to hear our perspective on? I think that's important.
Yeah.
Enjoy.